All right, guys, we're back and we got a lot of work to do, including there's an exclusive new interview with the ladies, the collective post-wall Karens out there in Australia, who are taking, they're doing a victory lap after getting several games banned, payment processors to not work with these, storefronts. They're doing the rounds on the internet right now. We got this exclusive interview. I suppose I suggest that's I guess that's what this is. Pirate Nation posted this, so I had to go and get a good little gobble out of that. I recognize that this is small and hard for everybody to see. You click on it here, and it just makes it even worse. So I had to come over here, and let's see if we can take a look at this really quick. Um, oh yeah. We good. So this was done by Jack Connor. Okay, shout out to Jack. Um, Published August 30th, 2025. Okay. Collective Shout's campaign led payment processors Visa and MasterCard to pressure Steam into removing adult games depicting sexual violence against women, highlighting ethical concerns over glorifying abuse. This shift enforces stricter content policies aiming to protect women from harmful media while sparking debate on censorship and platform responsibility. There's no debate to be had here. And this is what happens when Western society decides that we got to start protecting people's feelings over logical behavior. At this point, you can no longer make art and tell stories because in real life, women experience violence, but we're not allowed to talk about it anymore. We're not allowed to tell stories that have it included in there anymore. Now, if you're talking about games that are absolutely like, it's like, press XYZ to put your hand around her neck, shove her face in the pillow, and start stroking. Yeah, I'm not gonna die on that hill. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. But to tell a story that includes a woman being goofed. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say it that way, goofed. I think that should be allowed. Anyway, so nobody has a human right to simulate and enact fantasies of rape and extreme violence against women. Why not? First of all, it's not a fantasy. It's a game. It's a story being told. Why not? Why not? The campaigns manager at Collective Shout explained in a recent email interview with me, not being able to access grape games from popular gaming platforms is a minor inconvenience, not a violation of a person's rights. Payment processors get to determine if they do not want to host illegal content, including rape, sexual violence, incest, child goof abuse, and exploitation and bestiality. Well, the problem is if this was consistent across the board, then I think you'd have a more of a compelling argument. But it's not. We know that bestiality is allowed. We know that incest has been allowed in some situations. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's games that are games and movies, quite frankly, that are set back in old times where incest was allowed. Game of Thrones, not allowed, but it happened. Game of Thrones, uh, uh, House of the Dragon, easily, easily. Those are stories that are being told, and there's a lot of violence against women in that show. But you'll allow people to sign their cards up and watch Game of Thrones on HBO Max, right? That's not a problem. Okay. Collective Shout, a small group from Australia, created a stir within the PC gaming community when it targeted Steam, the biggest storefront and platform, with a campaign that resulted in payment processors such as Visa and MasterCard threatening to pull their we already know that. Following the decision and the widespread reporting of its impact on Steam platform, a harassment campaign has been launched toward Collective Shout, which the organization is now engaging with lawyers, the FBI, and even the UN in response to threats that include pornography, goof violence, and death threats. It's clear many of the men defending their grape games perpetuate crimes of violence against women because they are doing it to us right now. I dare you. I triple dog dare you, you old, white, pathetic bitch, to find any sexual violence of mine in the past. I dare you. I dare it. Okay? The fact that people are arguing for freedom of expression And and what do I always tell y'all on this channel? Feminine warfare is a beast. It is a beast because what women do is they never target the actual logical part of the argument or the conversation. The only thing they do is start throwing labels and accusations at you. We're arguing freedom of expression and freedom of speech, and the first thing that come out of this retarded bitch's mouth is you are a grapist. Well, I dare you to find me graping anybody, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I dare you to find it. She goes, I would ask those who view the loss of their grape games as censorship to consider if they are as concerned with women's basic human rights and the glorification of male violence against women. No, I don't. That's not my job to care. First of all, you're a liar. You got one game that was that No Mercy game that got banned off of the platform. Nobody made a big fuss. Well, no, that's a lie. People made a big fuss about it, but it's not that big of a deal. But then you took it a step further, and now you want Steam and every other platform to deplatform them if they allow games of any sexual content whatsoever. And now you're trying to spin it as like all of these games were grape games. No, they wasn't. This is you going on a power trip. Classic example of you going on a power trip. You got one victory, now you want it all. And no, I don't care about women's human rights because we don't have any other rights that they don't have. Women are already a protected class. So what are you talking about? This is a lie. And I want everybody to understand it's all a lie. It's always been a lie. The same way they tried to convince you that there's a grape culture on college campuses. There never was a grape culture at college campuses. That's a lie. It's a lie to be able to control the narrative and a lie to be able to control you. While some gamers were upset that their games were now removed from the platform, many felt Valve's compliance with this situation highlighted an overreach by payment processors, particularly the moral policing of art content under the threat of withdrawing payment processing support. Although some of the content is illegal in Australia, the campaign's effects have been global. In a nutshell, Visa and MasterCard deemed the adult games as an elevated risk to their brand through association. That's a lie. That's also a lie. Here's what they also had to say. Our work focuses on combating the sexual objectification and exploitation of women and girls, so we focus our energy there. That's a lie. We call out this objectification and abuse depictions of women and girls, even where they are not illegal. Legality is not the defining factor. It is about documented evidence of harm to women and girls. We object to content that harms the status of women and girls, that objectifies and dehumanizes them, regardless of legal or illegal status. In some cases, of course, the content we object to is illegal, as was the case here. Well, it wasn't illegal, or else it would have never been. It would have never been on the platform. Also, I find it interesting. Y'all not gonna go after OnlyFans? You literally just said causing harm to women and girls. Didn't Bonnie Blue have sex with 1,000 men? Wasn't that dehumanizing, even though it was her choice to do? I'm not saying go after her. I'm saying shouldn't you be going after OnlyFans, who allows the payment processor? I'm so confused here. Whatever. Could you provide an introduction on Collective Shout and what the organization strives to achieve in general? Collective Shout is a grassroots campaigning movement against the objectification of women and sexualization of girls in media, advertising and popular culture. For those less familiar in these concepts, sexual objectification is the process of reducing a person, often a woman, to the status of object or thing to be used by someone else rather than a human being. Man, if y'all don't get the fuck out of here, you old ass bitches just getting mad. This is what it is. Okay? When they said collective post-wall Karens, they didn't lie. This is a bunch of old ass women who got upset with the world because they were no longer getting free drinks bought for them in the club. And then they start to realize, holy shit, my value as a woman directly comes from my sexual prowess. And they didn't like that. And now they got to fight. So what are you going to do? Are you going to get Sydney Sweeney canceled? You can't make this shit up, bro. This all comes from a bunch of women who only care about themselves. They don't understand the struggle of young men. Oh, as I said on Twitter, women are absolutely positively okay with PDF file behavior as long as they're profiting from it. That's why all of these women are absolutely okay with these female teachers sleeping with their students, coming to school dressed like a goddamn stripper, OnlyFans models making videos of themselves in a fucking kindergarten class. What? Absolutely okay with exploiting little boys. You just can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. Anyway, let this go before I blow a gasket. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the grift be with you. I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.